5.
Tucker's cross is an emerald-studded 22-carat gold cross, discovered by Bermudian marine explorer Teddy Tucker in 1955. Explorer Teddy Tucker found the famous emerald and gold cross just north of Bermuda in 1955 while scuba diving. It is believed that its history of the cross dates back to 1594 and was part of a large treasure haul from a Spanish shipwreck. The cross was then renamed after him and became known as the Tucker Cross. Sometime before 1975, however, the cross was stolen, and the robbers left a cheap replica in its place. The replica was found in 1975 when Queen Elizabeth II visited the Maritime Museum to view this treasure. This priceless piece, made of 22-carat gold cross, embedded with sparkling green emeralds, was moved to the Bermuda Museum of Art to display it for Queen Elizabeth II. The discovery that the cross was a replica caused a media sensation. Nobody could work out who or even when it had replaced the authentic Tucker cross. The whereabouts of this treasure remains a mystery today. Some say it is in the private collection of a well-known jewel collector.
4.
The SPOOKLIGHT is a light that appears in a small area known locally as the Devil's Promenade, on the border between southwestern Missouri and northeastern Oklahoma, west of the small town of HORNET, Missouri. Reported sightings date back as far as 1866. Witnesses report seeing an orange ball of light which bobs along at 6.4 kilometers, 4-mile stretch of gravel road. Legend says that it was first seen by Native Americans who walked the Trail of Tears. Nobody has ever suffered adverse effects from the light. It simply appears in the sky, wanders aimlessly, bobbing and weaving at great speed, and then it's gone. The most popular explanation is that the Hornet SPOOKLIGHT is a will-o'-the-wisp, a name for the light given off when wood and other organic compounds decay, although the light given by the phenomenon isn't normally as bright. Another leading reason is rather simple. Scientists say that it may simply be the refracted headlights of nearby drivers. However, this doesn't explain the sightings before the invention of automobile.
3.
GELI RAUBAL was the daughter of Leo RAUBAL and Angela RAUBAL. She was born in Linz on 4th of June 1908. She was a young woman who grew up in Germany in the early 20th century. Her life was cut short when she committed suicide on September the 18th, 1931. The gun she used belonged to her half-uncle and rumoured lover, Adolf Hitler, known as Uncle Alfie to his niece. Hitler entranced the young woman with his celebrity, since they first became involved just as the Nazis were rising to power. RAUBAL travelled with the Führer all over the countryside, eventually moving into Hitler's mansion in Munich as a housekeeper. During their time together, Hitler exalted his niece as a paragon for all Aryan women, though some didn't see her that way. One rival called her an empty-headed little slut who manipulated Hitler. Reports of the pair fighting the night before her death were said to have centred on RAUBAL's wish to travel to Vienna to get engaged to another man. After her suicide, Hitler's people put forth the explanation that RAUBAL had shot herself because she was nervous about an upcoming musical recital, which was widely discredited. No note was ever discovered, and there were reportedly numerous injuries found on RAUBAL's body, including a broken nose. A firestorm of controversy erupted but was quickly silenced by the Nazis' political influence, as well as their threats of litigation. Nevertheless, rumours dogged Hitler for years that he had in fact murdered RAUBAL. A journalist who was investigating the circumstances surrounding her suicide was arrested by the Nazis just before he was to publish his findings. He was executed months later at Daku. With that last death, any investigations into the truth of the matter were abandoned.
2.
Nan Madol remains as one of the world's truly unexplained mysteries. The abandoned city sits partly submerged to the eastern shore of the island of Pompeii. Nan Madol is the only known ancient city that was built on top of a coral reef. Construction of this mysterious city is thought to have started 1,500 years ago. For those that are unaware, Pompeii is a small island that forms part of the Sanyavin Islands, which are part of the larger Caroline Islands group. The islands belong to Pohnpei State, one of the 4 states in the Federated States of Micronesia, FSM. FSM sits just above New Guinea in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean. The mysterious city constructed in a lagoon consists of a series of small artificial islands linked by a network of strange canals. The mystery of Nan Madol starts with the fact that nothing about its construction can be explained. Scientists and archaeologists have not verified anything about the megalithic construction. They collectively state that the city's construction is an unexplainable mystery. The total weight of the black rocks that make up the city's construction is estimated at 750,000 metric tons, an average of 1,850 tons a year over 4 centuries. The basalt logs that make up the high walls can weigh as much as 50 tons each. What's even more mysterious is the Sandeleurs who built it didn't have pulleys, levers or metal to aid in the process. This means to build a city they would have had to move almost 2,000 tons of stone a year, each year for 400 years. What is known is the fact that Nan Madol was an elite centre, a special place of residence for the nobility used for mortuary activities presided over by priests. Its population almost certainly did not exceed 1,000, although it recently been claimed that the population never exceeded 500. Supposedly, there was an escape tunnel beginning at the centre of Nan Madol, which was created by boring down through the reef to the exit into the ocean. Scuba divers continue to look for this secret route, but so far a complete tunnel has not been discovered. Although a number of incomplete tunnels have been found, a number of divers vanished in 2012 exploring the largest of these tunnels.
1.
On December 26, 1900, a supply ship arrived at the Eileen Moore Lighthouse to find that no one was at the dock waiting for them. The island's only inhabitants were the lighthouse keepers James Ducat, Thomas Marshall and William MacArthur. Captain James Harvey was in charge of the supply ship and had brought along Joseph Moore, a replacement lighthouse keeper. After attempts at getting the lighthouse keeper using the ship's horn and a flare, Joseph decided to go up to the lighthouse to check things out. When he reached the lighthouse, he immediately knew something was wrong, because the door was unlocked and 2 of the 3 coats were missing in the entrance hall. As he reached the kitchen, he noticed a half-eaten meal and an overturned chair as if someone had left in a hurry. After searching the lighthouse top to bottom, Joseph hadn't found signs of the lighthouse keepers. A further investigation was made and found mysterious entries in the lighthouse log. December 12, Thomas Marshall noted of severe winds, the likes of which I have never seen before in 20 years. He also noted that James Ducat, the principal keeper, had been very quiet and that William MacArthur had been crying. The strange thing is that on the mainland, MacArthur had been known as a tough guy and was a seasoned mariner. December 13th noted that the storm was still raging on and that the 3 men had been praying. It's strange because all 3 of the men were seasoned mariners and situated about 150 feet above sea level. They should have known they'd be safe, so why would they be praying for the storm to pass over? The final log entry on December the 15th read, "Storm ended, sea calm. God, is over all. Stranger is that there were no reported storms in the area on the 12th, 13th and 14th of December. In fact, the weather in that area had been reported as calm. The most accepted theory is that the men were swept into the sea and drowned. However, questions arose about why the bodies had never washed up on shore, as well as some others.